Good morning, everyone. We're just going to give everybody a minute to log in and join the session. We've had a lot of interest today, so that's good. Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Michael. I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Let's see, we've got people joining all over the world today, I think. We got time zone is just about right for people in Europe as well as in China, right?
Yeah, I think the timing is quite good that we are able to connect to the attendance from different time zones.
Great. So, good morning, everybody from Europe. Good afternoon, anyone joining from Asia. My name is Michel Chung. I'm SVP at ChatLabs, and with me I have Nicole from Tencent.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Nicole from Tencent Cloud Europe, and I'm the business development manager from Tencent side to mainly connect with industrial brands and the key clients to provide our solutions and for better engagements, helping them and develop in China market and also the overseas market.
Great. So today we're gonna do the following. So where Tencent is going to talk about all the different components that make up the ecosystem of Tencent and the solutions that they bring to luxury clients that are active in the market, which there are tons of. So looking forward to hearing about that. And I will be talking about how we practically use that ecosystem to create a customer journey, an omnichannel one in China. So with that, I'm going to give it to Nicole to kick off her side of the presentation.
Thanks, Michael. Then I will be starting to share my screen. So I hope all you can see the slides, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now I will start from my part to give you a brief introduction and overview of Tencent and our WeChat ecosystems. So the idea is mainly to help you understand the different touch points that WeChat are able to provide for brands to engage and talk to the customers in China and even for the overseas users. And plus, how could we even make more revenues and brand awareness from there? So these are all the touch points that we will cover today. And there will also be some more exciting stuff that we have newly launched in China for the dedicated NFT solutions, since the environment is quite different compared to the international NFT and blockchain environment. So that's why we are also very happy to sharing with you this solution, which is newly launched by Tencent and our partners. Yeah. To start with, that we will first give you an introduction about who is Tencent. And Tencent is actually a technical company in China focused on the products within the internet industry. So we have actually established our first business from 20 years ago, and now we have expanded to a variety of products that apps to the 2C business customers, including the chat messaging, the video platform, the browsers, the news apps, the maps, and the security, the mail service. All those kind of icons that have been listed here are just part of our product portfolio. And just to help you better understanding the service and the roadmap that we are actually offering, so we have made easy comparison with the global apps that is mainly used in Europe or in the United States. So there are some functionalities that has the difference, but mainly the code functions are similar. That's why you could see, so Tencent is quite big, that we also offer a variety of services across the daily life of different touch points across the whole Chinese netizens' daily journey. And one of our biggest app that has more than 1 0.2 billion MAUs is the WeChat. This is the main part that we will talk over today. And we have also very strong MAUs in the Tencent videos and also in the QQ, which is the first messaging app where our business started. And we also very strong on the gaming industry, since we are also one of the largest gaming vendors in the globe, not only in the China. So that's why we have a very good balance of the male users and female users across all our systems. So that's how Tencent looks like. And we are proud to say that basically our products actually covers 98% of Chinese netizens use and 6% of their time spent online. So this is the interesting part that we are able to give you and for a first overview. And then let's have a look on the WeChat. So probably some of the users, or especially from the international perspective, regard WeChat as a similar products compared to the WhatsApp. Yes, it's true, but from the first version we launched, it's something similar. So we have the main functionalities as the messaging and for communication, and we also have the moment, which is like Instagram integrated into the WeChat, so people or the users can actually sharing the post with articles and also their images, videos, and to their close friends that has been added in their account. But from the second version, we have actually expanded into a wider range of service we are able to provide. So for example, we have launched the official account, which can be regarded as a brand account that can post articles or the information for the news release about what happens to your brands and to talk to the followers, that which is not in a closed community, but to a wider audience base. And we have also launched the WeChat Pay and to enable the payment service directly within the WeChat, and also can be used for the offline as the debit card or other different payment solutions. And we have launched the mini program, which support different types of interactions. So not only for the e-commerce, but also covering the gamings and covering the membership systems that could be integrated into the WeChat and without switching to another app. So we also have wecom, which is like the enterprise version of WeChat that can be mainly used by the employees from an enterprise perspective to deliver a better professional image when talking to the end users. And from the now on, we have actually WeChat, and we call them 3.0. And we have the WeChat Channel, which is more like a short video content platform. It also enables the long video content to be posted on WeChat. And we have also the WeChat search. It's kind of like embedded search engine within the WeChat. So it enables the users to search the products or the brands they are interested in, and then to directly link to the different touch points that, like we have mentioned before, those official accounts, those mini programs, and those even for the private community groups. So these are all the different touch points that can be integrated and linked within each other. So that's why how it looks today. So it starts from a simple messaging app, but actually now it's more than messaging. And since today our topic is talking about to engage with the luxury industry in luxury journey, that's why WeChat is even getting more important. So here is just a quick overview of results from the BCG release luxury consumer survey, that actually we can see WeChat is playing as a dominating position when it has an impact on communication with the brand, with the customers, by spreading the informations, the news, and word of mouth from the recommendations and advertisement for the brand awareness, to fully engage with brands, to telling them and to telling their customers how the new products has been released, what kind of new information they want to talk, and if there are different incentives or events they are going to launch, even for the live streaming. So all those kind of different scenarios for the touch points has been integrated into WeChat, and altogether they have made up a very strong, powerful impact on the daily life of the engagements between the luxury brands and the Chinese users. And here is also a quick overview based on the analysis data from some industry and search report that we could see. And the Chinese netizens actually has a quite good gender balance, so between the female and the male users. And we could also see by the city tiers, the top of the cities are actually the majority, part of the majority who has strong purchase power for the luxury brands that are using the WeChat helps us to, with the high penetration, to talk to the customers with who's located in these cities. And another part from the age perspective, we could see that the age groups from 18 to 34, who is actually regarded, especially the 24 and 34 group, is regarded the strongest purchase power group that who are interested on the luxury products in China, plus the group of 35 to 44 years age. Since in China, the shopping trend for the luxury products actually has been a bit younger compared to the traditional market like the European market for the luxury products. So that's why to better talk to this and engage with these kind of target groups, that WeChat is actually a charming tool to help you to talk to them and to have an increase your presence and awareness in the apps that they are using in their daily life. So apart from the top tier cities that we have mentioned here, they're having WeChat or using the functions that WeChat has been able to provide, even is helpful for the brands to talk to the customers or potential prospect customers who's located in the lower tier cities, we call like tier 3 and tier 4 cities, since there are still a strong group of people that who has very high purchase power and spending abilities, but they actually lack of direct access to the shopping malls or the flagship boutiques located usually in the top tier cities. So to having the mini programs, for example, as the e-commerce store enables this kind of customers to shop directly at brand site without going and traveling to the big cities, to the boutique stores. So this is actually a lot of interesting part that brands can make use of and to better engage with these clients. And then I will try to give you an introduction about different touch points that the brands or the clients are able to use when talking to the customers or their potential audience they're willing to reach out. So first of all, we can see here are the different user scale and the touch points for the small icons. So I will explain to you briefly one by one later. So the first one is the WeChat, that we have more than 1.2 billion users. And then this is the mini programs that we also have a very high and daily active users, which enables developers or even the brands to have different functions embedded as a light version of the app within the WeChat. And we have the moment, like we mentioned before, and we have the official account, we have the video channel, we have the WeChat search. So all these touch points are the main parts that brands can utilize and to make use of them to target and to reach out and to show the brand messages to this audience. And supported by the e-commerce functions of the mini program, the WeChat payment service, and the WeChat work, we call them wecom, we are able to integrate the omnichannel services, not only online within the WeChat, but also to implement in the offline with your salespersons or personal shoppers in the store, and to have the omnichannel experience that is integrated together for your online offline business. So here is the multiple touch points that we are able to make use of within the WeChat as the main part. So like the visual part of the official account. So you can even create the group chats, like what you can also do in the WhatsApp to talk in a more semi-private way with a group of audience. But for the luxury brands, usually you highlight the one-on-one conversation. So wecom will be a better way to deliver the intimate communication environment instead of a group chat. And then the performance ads, the search functions, the live streamings that we are now also live on the WeChat, and also the video channel. That's the brand official site to actually launch the new collection and the TVCs that you have been created with all those mini program, e-payments, and WeChat work. So we connect social platform with the transaction services all together. Here is an overview of the points that I have mentioned before, but I won't go everything in detail since Michael has prepared a very nice customer journey from a brand perspective that we're showing you later. So I will just give an overview on how it looks like, that these touch points looks like, and how brands can make use of it. Like for the WeChat official account, so it's like a brand zone that you can release and post all the articles, news, and link them to the different landing destinations, like a mini program if you have, and even for your store, for the reservation, appointment functions, and for the offline services, if you want to use that for an appointment service. And on the right side, this is the entrance for the moment where that the users can see the posts and activities from their close friends. And from WeChat side, we're offering the performance ads. We call them the displayed moment ads. That is like a feed ad in the WeChat moment. So where brands can make it more like a native post, but integrated into the whole feed, with also the direct link functions and link to the mini program or link to the official account or any page they are willing to guide the customer to for membership registration, for example. And then WeChat search, this is also the new functions that we are now highly looking on, since the brands usually would like to have their dedicated area that links all those icons together to bring the customers when they search the dedicated products or a brand. So they have a dedicated zone to show all the touch points together, like mini program, the video channels. That's why this is also a very interesting part that brand can make use of. And we have the WeChat channel, like mentioned before. So this is like a video platform integrated into the WeChat as well. So similar to the TikTok, but also create a better environment for brands to connect with their audience, and also across a wider age range. And then this is an overview of mini programs. So probably some of you already heard that mini program, especially as an e-commerce store. But here we also want to mention that mini program itself is not only limited to a gaming part or also limited to the e-commerce function. There are even more ways that you can play around with them. So like to launch your new arrival or limited editions of the products, and also with the countdown and the reservation functions. And you can embed it with the live streaming, which is very popular nowadays in China as well. And even use it for the customer engagement and to develop the CRM membership loyalty program in the mini program, and connected all the points that the customer are able to redeem from their online and offline purchase. So all these ways are possible. And there are even more interesting functions, so like AR try-on and cosmetics try-on solutions, and to even have a closed or semi-closed engagement community dedicated designed for brands to let customers and or potential users to post the images or photos that is connected with the brand's products. So these are all possible. And it's more like a customized way that depends on brand's needs. There are a lot of ways to engage with audience depend on your roadmap. And here is just an overview to let you see that how many brands and how strong that we see about the growth rate of the mini program has been used for the e-commerce function. Since in China, the Chinese users actually quite spoiled to use everything within one app. So that's why we really see the trend, and the official store of the mini program actually has been starting competing at the same price, same position as the .com official website in China. That's why more and more brands starting to seeing this trend and willing to try to having the mini program as their official flagship store's touch point. So to deliver the more professional and direct communication and interaction with the end users. So this is the trend, and we are also seeing that the brand, some of the brands who actually launched e-commerce stores in mini programs, seeing a very good result, not only from the sales result, but also for the repurchase rate and also for the data, since we are not the third-party e-commerce platform. So the brand owns the mini program and they owns all the customer data they have. So that's most of the charming part. And from that, some of the brands even starting to have more dedicated mini programs for their new collection launch, as the pop-up store for their capsule collection, and as the dedicated CRM mini program for the membership community. So there are all the varieties and possibilities for brands to discover in the long term. Here we would also like to mention about the wecom, so where Michael will also introduce you how a salesperson can use it, but to give you a first impression that wecom is mainly used by the enterprise employees or for the salesperson or personal shoppers in the store to talk to the clients from the wecom portal, but the clients or the customers are able to receive all of the messages, like we have mentioned, the sharing of the mini programs and to the post of the products images and all the messages from the WeChat end. So there is no any impact from the customer's perspective, but just helping brands to better manage their sales team and also be able to, for brands to create the personal tags for the individual customer. And if the salesperson has left the company, you don't lose the communication and the contacts of the clients, since this is the enterprise account. And also deliver a better brand image for the salespersons to talk to the brands, since there will be the name of the brands and the companies displayed on their name card and also showing their name. So this is more like a professional image to help the end customers feel more credibility. And another charming part is that apart from all those WeChat functions, touchpoints can be integrated into wecom for salespersons use. There is also the chance for the brands to connect it with their endpoint. So like the CRM system they use globally, and also the backend side, the data management, and also the marketing portals that they are using, even dedicated in China. So as long as an open API or the platform and software itself is quite like an open to connect, that we have the chance to help you integrate all these kind of numbers together to better understand and structure the Chinese customers profile. So these are also possible. And another interesting topic that we want to mention today is the NFT. Since in Europe and international world, this is actually not a very new topic, so it's already quite hit in the past few years. But why we mention here is that in China, due to the different legal environments, so probably when headquarters ask the local office in China in the past months or even in the past years, they were telling you it is difficult or almost impossible to have the similar publishing of the NFT products in China. Not even that's for marketing reasons. There is no such kind of platform or chain that could supporting for this. But now, as Tencent, that we have cooperated with the China web security and also software companies. So we have developed so-called 智信 chain, which is kind of like an open consortium blockchain. So enables those kind of NFT publishing and transferring functions possible within the China. And the main idea is to tell that this is fully compliant within the China's regulatory environment, since the Zhixing chain is not only used for the publishing of the NFT, but also even used by the Chinese authorities as a record of the evidence to supporting their judgment in the courts. So that's why we are fully compliant, and we are also has the endorsement from the Chinese authorities. That's why, based on this background, so we are able to actually help the brands to publishing their NFTs on the Zhixing chain, and also enable them to interact with the touch points that WeChat are able to provide for brand engagement. And on top of that, since we have more platforms and companies joining Zhixing chain, like one of the important social media platforms, Xiaohongshu, Little Red Book, which is the social media platform that luxury brands cannot ignore for the community management. That's why this is also an even more charming part, that as long as this Little Red Book and other similar platforms are also using Zhixing chain, then we have the chance to actually support the end users or customers who have collected the NFT from your mini program and transfer it into a social media to showcase the NFTs they have been collected and to help create your social buzz. So this is even an interesting part that Tencent make it possible. Here is just a simple flow that we could see. So once the customers actually receive the NFTs, and as long as the social media platforms or the other platform, even a gaming users that is actually also using the Zhixing chain, then the customer has the chance to transfer this NFT into their social media platforms to post the articles or to post the NFTs, and also to use it, for example, as a gaming props. So these are some of the companies that who has actually already cooperated with Tencent and our partners to launching the NFT. Similar to the international NFT environment, this could be like photos, pictures, a model, or customized designed products from your new collection or classic version, and even can be a digital ticket for your exhibitions offline. And here is a typical journey that Tencent's NFT solution are able to provide. So like selling a product. So we treat NFT, you can sell NFT directly as a product, or you can actually treat it NFT as a campaign gift. So we call them gift with purchase. When a customers actually buy a product, they can attach, you will be able to provide them the NFT and collect them directly in the mini program you are using. And there are even more different ways to play around them. So to use them for the membership privilege, to redeem their points to win an NFT, or even for the gifts, for the use those gifts for different engagements, like following your account for the membership registration, something like this, or to win a ticket. And by having the ticket, the customers can participate in the lucky draw to win an NFT. So this is the charming part that WeChat are able to provide. And I think this is very good for brands to thinking that now there is the chance and now it's possible in China. So this is also a workflow about how the NFT could be transferred, for example, from the mini program and then to the Little Red Book art space, since Little Red Book art space is powered also by Tencent Zhixing chain and have and showcase of the access for the customers or end users to actually displaying all the NFTs they have been collected. So this is actually also a very good way for the cross-platform communication. And here, the last slide that we would like to mention to you is that apart from WeChat and our partnerships, so for the brands to operate and engage their communications with the clients in China, probably some of the brands actually are already starting facing the problems that they are actually having too many data from different sources. So from the official website, from their stores on the third-party platforms, or from their offlines and their own apps. And the problem is that probably there is actually one client have the shopping experience or engage experience across all these touch points, but they are not treated as one, or they are not able to be recognized as one customer. So brands actually reach out to these clients in different ways, by SMS, by emails, by private calls from the salespersons, but actually not prioritized by the ways that the brands is actually needs to do it in the right directions or in the right preferred ways by the customer. So we have like Marketing Cloud, so-called such kind of a CDP, customer data management platform, to help you identify the customer's profile, even they have any purchase behaviors across different platforms. And also we have the marketing automation functions to help you to do the personalized marketing to your clients and to help to identify them in the best way they want to be connected and communicated. So these are all possible from the softwares, from the solutions, the technologies Tencent and our partners are able to provide. So we cannot covering all these parts, but this is just an overview or as a heads up for you to know that if you are interested, and then just feel free to let us know. We can introduce all of those details and to let us know the problems that you are facing now. So we have actually different solutions to solve it. So basically, that's all what I'm talking about today. So I hope it's helpful for you to understand for the first step. Yeah, then I will hand over to Michael.
Thank you so much, Nicole. That was super, super helpful to give us an overview of everything that Tencent offers to help luxury brands engage with their consumers in China. I'm really excited to hear about all the NFT activity that you guys are doing as well. So I hope to collaborate with one of our clients and yourself on that sometime soon. So now we've seen a little bit with all the technology and the channels that are available for Tencent. I want to share with you how brands really use that in practice, right? So let me just quickly share my screen. So hopefully everybody can see this. So ChatLabs, we provide a lot of professional services and technology to luxury brands that are operating in China, and we collaborate with Tencent on this. So we'll show you a bunch of examples of that today. So, but first of all, I just want to highlight some of the background behind the things that we're doing. So we all know that China's evolved into a completely different digital ecosystem due to the firewall around China, that certain services aren't available in China. And that's really resulted in very different customer behavior that we're used to in the West, right? In the West, we're used to people discovering brand maybe on Insta, then going onto Google to find that brand, then buying something on their website, and then getting email communications from them. And in China, that journey is just completely different. People do not use email. There's no Google. There's no Facebook, but luckily for us, there is Tencent and there is WeChat, and a lot of the things that people traditionally do across these different spaces in the West, people can do all within the Tencent ecosystem, like discovering their brand, following the brand on official account, purchasing things from the stores on WeChat, and also getting the updates from that brand, the communications. But most of our customers and other luxury brands in the market, they're facing a few key challenges now in China. So a lot of brands that have sort of started in China, they have a heavy reliance on the marketplaces such as Tmall and JD, which are great for a lot of customer engagement and sales directly, but it's getting the sales are slowing down a little bit. It's costing quite a lot to acquire these customers on those platforms, and they don't end up in your own customer database, right? So the brands have limited customer data on their prospects and on their clients, operating in this manner. So they want to have a more direct to consumer channel, such as WeChat. And the other big thing is the marketplaces, they don't offer really a great experiences when it comes to the online to offline connections, right? And in luxury, still 70–80% of the sales happen in the store, and even the 20% that happens online are probably instigated after visiting a store, right? So the stores are a critical component in the omnichannel experience. So how do you tie that into everyone? So what do we do with these if you have all these challenges? So now brands that are successful in China have adopted a different philosophy. We're calling it the customer funnel. So in the West, we buy ads. Those ads give a number of impressions. Some of those impressions lead to traffic, and that traffic then converts into sales. And once that traffic is converted, then we have a few people in our CRM database that we can retarget, right? But up to that point, they were completely anonymous. Now in China, that funnel works very differently, because all the people in China, the netizens as they call them, they are actually, their attention is split across many different apps. The less browsing websites, they're more active within either WeChat app, WeChat channels, or Douyin, Xiaohongshu, marketplaces such as Tmall. So that's where they're spending all of their time, and that's where they're following brands. And so what you're trying to do in China is you want to build up this gigantic pool of followers, and your followers are your prospective clients in the end of the day. And then you engage with these followers to try and convert them into prospects by learning more about them and connecting them to your official account and to your sales staff. And then you can nurture those into becoming customers. So it's a different philosophy of looking at using money to buy ads that generate traffic that leads to customers. This is really about gaining brand followers, converting those followers, and that into customers. And Tencent is actually the best partner in China to create such a customer funnel. In the West, we have obviously the big players such as Google and Facebook, but they're really in it for one thing, right? They're in it for the ad revenue. So they're not sharing any of the data back to the brands. They're just offering ad platforms that help brands retarget them at a fee. Whereas Tencent doesn't do that. It does, like sending a broadcast or a WeChat message or a chat to a customer doesn't cost a thing, right? So you can retarget people for free. You can obviously also target people that aren't following you through advertising, but as you can see, that's a very small portion of the Tencent business. So Tencent prioritizes the customer experience across all the different channels above just ad revenue, like some of the companies in the West. So now that you understand a little bit the concept of what this customer funnel is, how do you create one? How do brands create one? So first and foremost, you need to get brands to follow the brand, consumers to follow the brand, of course, and they can be organically discovered or followed by search or QR codes. Then you need to constantly engage your followers in innovative ways to learn more about them. So there's loads of different ways to engage with customers that we'll show you today. And you learn a lot about them as they engage with you, because people are always logged into WeChat. So you can track exactly what people are doing and therefore what their interests are. Furthermore, you then need to convert those followers into prospect by connecting these people to your sales staff. So how do you do that? And then lastly, we need to empower the sales staff with insights and tools to really enhance that sales experience. So what does that look like, this whole process? So on the first, on the discovery side, here you see what brands are doing in WeChat channels. So we see a lovely example of Cartier here and the Yves Saint Laurent channels account. So WeChat channels is a great way for brands to get organically discovered by consumers. So if they're not following you and you're not getting your content, this is a way to get in front of them. Because similar to other video platforms, there's a clever algorithm behind it that suggests content based on users' interests. So people that are interested in premium goods in China and follow particular brands, they will automatically get your content. So if you make sure that you have highly engaging short video content, you're posting that on WeChat channels, that can lead to followers of your brand on WeChat. And when people, obviously, when people are interested in you as a brand by either they find out about that offline or through channels or through other social media, then they're going to search for the brand, such as one of our clients here. So when people search the brand, you have the opportunity to create a search brand zone with Tencent that looks like in the West. So when you look at the brand, you don't get standard search results, but you could get a lovely experiences such here in the West. And the people then follow the brand. And when they follow the brand, then they become part of this database of prospective clients, right? That's the first point of engagement. And now we can capture some of that data already. Then the brands get, the followers get a automated welcome message, such as here on the right. And they also are now able to receive up to 4 broadcasts per month. And this is the equivalent of subscribing to an email newsletter in the West. So now you're getting these broadcasts like you see here on the right. Now they're your follower, but you now need to keep these followers. When people follow the brand, they start to get the messages from them, and it's really important to engage with them because there is, on average, a 40% drop of people that follow a brand initially, then get bored with whatever the brand's doing on WeChat, and then quickly unfollow them, and then you've lost them out of your pool of prospective clients, right? So you want to minimize that as much as possible. So you want to you really want to engage all of these followers on WeChat. Now, WeChat's a really open platform, so you can build things that are called mini programs, so mini apps to engage with customers, and you can do other things like chatbots, like here on the right. So there's lots of different ways that you can engage with the consumer. And as they engage, you can also learn a lot more about them. So Burberry does this beautifully. They have these amazing 360 campaigns. So here on the left, there was a little avatar that was launched, and you could interact with that avatar. You could, through your interactions, you would win points and currency. For example, by scanning a QR code or talking to a sales associate or watching a video, like really engaging with the brand content. And with that currency, you could then evolve your little avatar and buy outfits for it and something like that. So really gamifying the campaign. It's a social platform, so it's really easy to get other people to invite their friends into the brand's ecosystem, such as the social community here in the middle. So that attracts organically even more people, right? If they invite their friends over. And then a lot of people start maybe asking about the brand when they chat to them, like what kind of product information, where's my closest store, those kind of questions. And they use a bot to answer all of that for the customers. So it's a highly engaging customer guidance on that platform as well. Now that's all great. So you have a bunch of followers that are really engaged with the brands, but obviously now you need to try and turn that into actual sales. So the next part of turning these into prospects is by getting them to actually connect with your sales staff, so your most valuable assets, right? These are the people that know everything about the brand, about the products. They can talk to the customer, answer all of their questions, and ideally receive them in the stores when they're open, of course. So a lot of the brands, they are deploying many omni-channel features to try and connect people to the staff in the stores. Now, the staff in the stores tend to use wecom from Tencent as their way to message with the consumers, because this is like a brand approved account, which is owned by the brand themselves. So it'll be like Michelle at ChatLabs rather than my private WeChat, for example. So how do you connect to the staff? So through the mini programs, such as here on the left, you can, or for example, reserve a product or book an appointment in the store. That will create an appointment request on wecom, for example, if you have a clienteling solution like we've built here for this brand. And the staff will receive a notification. This person wants to come in and look at the products, and then they can book that person in to come and visit. So there's lots of different ways to interact with the staff. I'll show the video on the right again. So here is the official account, and when you ask for customer service through the menu, you actually get an automated questionnaire like what kind of do you want an inquiry? Yes, I want to go have a wecom inquiry. Where are you based? Well, I'm in Shanghai. Which store would you like to connect to? Well, this store. And then you get a QR code for a wecom QR code, which is actually a group of sales associates. So when the user then scans that, they will get assigned a sales associate from that store, and they can start talking to them, doing a video call or asking questions about the products or asking if they have something available before they come in. So that's another way, a really innovative way to get people to connect to the sales associates. Now, when they then connect to these sales associates, here's where it really becomes beautiful, because Tencent is an open platform. Everybody's always logged in when they're using it, which means that we are able to collect all of that data in our CDP of everything that they've ever done in that ecosystem, and even beyond that. So when the sales associate connects to that person that just booked an appointment or wants to come and visit the store, we can already see what content they've engaged with, what products that they're interested in, what videos they've watched, what mini programs, what campaigns, etc. So we can instantly give a tremendous amount of insight to the sales associate, which allows them to prepare better than ever for the customers coming into the store, or for the customers just having a conversation with them via WeChat, and that they have all that data that they have at the point of their fingertips. So they can see exactly what someone's interested in and tailor the conversation to that. Now, when they do visit the store and they have those conversations, they might not be ready to buy yet. For example, in the jewelry and watches category, it's quite common to someone coming into the store for an appointment, looking at sort of 7 premium watches, and then thinking about which one they might want to buy for themselves or for a gift, and they'll leave the store again. But in the West, that sort of, we lose the sales opportunity a little bit, right? But in China, because they're already connected to the person in the store can follow up quite easily with that person and go, hey, thank you for visiting the store today. Here are the 4 products that you've looked at. Here's some extra information for you to read through. Let me know if you have any questions, right? So that's a whole follow-up experience. And what they can also then do is they can refer those people online. For example, the sales associate can have the product catalog within wecom, or the mini program within wecom, click on the products that the customer is interested in and share them as sort of purchasable cards within the chat. which means that in order to sell that piece, the customer doesn't have to go back to the store again. They can simply click there, buy it through the WeChat store that's been built, and the sales associate who's done all the work of convincing this customer to buy the product can still then get their commission, right? The sales is still attributed to the person that was helping them, rather than it's just a generic e-commerce sale, because we can track that sale back to the staff member there. So that's sort of the whole entire journey, all the way from gaining followers, engaging with them, trying to connect them with your staff, and then helping your staff to eventually close the sale with them. So that's everything we wanted to share today from both Tencent and ChatLabs. So now we'll take some questions from the audience. Let's see. So if you have any, please post them in the Q&A. There's a few already in there. Oh, not a question, but a comment from Vincent. He's sending the support to everybody in Shanghai who are obviously facing lockdown. So I completely agree, Vincent. Yeah, our teams there and our clients are still in lockdown there. So anyone that's joining in remotely from Shanghai, best of luck to you guys. Wishing you well, and hope it ends soon. So thanks, Vincent, also for showing the support. Got a question from Alice. So alongside mainstream channel ads, what are the opportunities on or outside WeChat for luxury brands to acquire new customers? So when we look at the statistics for acquisition, what we typically see is that there's a level of brand search, right? So the search ads, or the whole ecosystem around that's one option. So about 30%, 40% people come through search because they know the brand. So that's mainly to do with brand awareness. And then the second biggest way people are getting into official accounts is actually QR codes. And a QR code doesn't have to be within the digital ecosystem, right? So QR codes in China, they are everywhere. They've become a bit more popular in the West with coronavirus, and nobody wanted to touch anything. So that's great. And in China, they were already everywhere. They're in magazines, there's in video ads, they're in display boards, they're at pop-up stores, they are on cards with products in the store, they're on the product windows themselves. So there's loads of ways that you can deploy QR codes to help get people to acquire those leads that way. And then you have obviously the other channels such as other social media, where you can still link into towards your WeChat official account, or you can share the QR code there. The platforms are becoming more open because of the directive from the government there. We got one question from Ashley. This one's, I think, for Nicole. How can I offer NFTs in China while staying compliant with the latest regulations? Are they in conflict in any kind of way? Nicole, you want to take that?
Yeah, so thanks Ashley for the question. So actually, as I mentioned in the introduction part, so this is more like an alternative solution for the semi-public and consultative chain in China. So the chain is the Zhixin chain itself is not something like the international version that the customers are able to trade in the secondary market, like to sell and to trade the NFTs they have collected as on the international platforms, but it's more like an alternative environment that has established within the Chinese regulatory and to stay compliant. So there is no conflict with the PIPL, since the flow actually currently at least within the China market. And the second part is that apart from the animals and function that or feature that is quite common in international NFT market on the Zhixin in the China environment, that we actually request the identification to be recorded. So all the users that who collected an NFT has to register into their identify card numbers to be recorded in the chain. So that's why when it's transferred to another social media platform that who's supported or have the NFT space launched and powered by Zhixin Chain as well, that you are able to transfer the NFT and to show to your followers or to display that on your own user page. But that's also under the regulation that this NFT has to be recorded under the same one's name. So that's why how it's possible. And there is no conflict, but more like a semi-public and environment within China.
Thank you, Nicole. It's super helpful. We got a question from Alexander. So Alexander is wondering whether or not there is a GDPR integration into European WeChat app if interacting with customers in Europe via WeChat. Any news regarding GDPR and WeChat usage in Europe? So, well, first and foremost, there's obviously the GDPR-like new regulations in China, which is the PIPL, Personal Information Protection Law, that's come out last November. It became active, so it's now regarded as common practice to actually ask the users for similar that kind of things that you do with GDPR. So you have to, when you do all these engagements and you're asking for personal data, you need to ask the user for consent. So we've deployed some consent management technology with various customers currently, where it generates a pop-up. It says, do you wish to opt into marketing, analytics, cross-border data transfer, those kind of things, and the customer opts into that. So there's this opt-in mechanic. And obviously, when people are following the official account in the first place, that generates the terms and conditions as well. So when you do become a follower, that automatically is the regarded as the marketing opt-in, similar to agreeing to the privacy policy when you sign up to someone's newsletter. In terms of analyzing all the behavior that you can get, that's within that is actually within the regulations in China. If you're using analytics or AI, as long as the customer opts into that, you can do that. But you do need to now request for opt-in. So just like when GDPR came out, it took a while for all of the brands to sort of start to adhere to that and enable these kind of functions on their website. We'll see the same, no doubt, for brands that are operating within WeChat, because they're all now obligated to do the same. So thank you, Alexander. Let's see, have we have time for one more question? So give this one to Nicole as well. So Angela is asking, with the lockdown in place in China and people not being able to come out for their brand, to meet their brand representatives, how can a brand that's not previously known in China interact with consumers and create brand awareness? So this is for brands entering into China. How can you gain brand awareness if you don't have people on the ground currently? Nicole, any insights you can offer for that one?
Yeah, I think so. From Tencent perspective, when we're talking about the retail, so there are definitely the brands who already operate quite mature in China, but there are also the brands who's quite new or not very unknown in China, and which even during the COVID period that you are not able to send your representatives to the Chinese market to have a face-to-face interaction. So for those kind of brands that we actually, from our perspective, we suggested you to use the touch points that we have mentioned, like in the introduction part, to register an official account, since most of them are the free, and to having to create your interaction touch points. since once you have those touch points ready, like even for the video account, if you have some video materials able to be posted and shared, and even for to have the wecom account registered, so like preparing those mandatory stuff for the communication, and there is the chance so for you to be searched as a result by the potential customers when the keyword is matching. And apart from that, so we also have our advertising systems. So like there is the WeChat moment ad that you are able to select the target audience groups based on your criteria for the target audience. So for example, you are very specified in a certain vertical industry, so you can customize on your keywords in the advertising platform, and also you can select the age of the customer, the potential target audience, and also based on a lot of dimensions that Tencent is actually able to provide in the advertising backend based on their educational level, based on their phone, mobile models, and even on their previous interest that they have searched. But all those numbers are only based on the customers they authorized us to provide to the brands for the advertising part. So it's not fully covered, but since most of the clients, they have recorded a lot of research behavior, so they are willing to share that with us when giving the consent to us. So that's why there's already a very big customer base that for you to able to choose. And plus, we also provide the LBS solutions. So if your service or product is actually target for a custom dedicated group that is in the location that you are interested in, then you can even narrow the range of these cities, and even based on the shopping malls that you want to point out as the key locators to locate your audience base. So these are the functions that starting from the mandatory points, you prepare with those free touch points. And then once you have at least most of the stuff ready and to be searched, to be shown, to be able to explain and your brand, and to telling the customers what you are, who you are, and what kind of products you are selling and offering, and then starting to having the advertising part and expand to different touch points across different social media platforms. So this is more like a purely a digital way to communicate. And then we have live streaming service as well. So you are able to even have the directly interactive communication with the customers or potential contacts you have reached out or received. Yeah, that's mainly the key parts I want to mention.
Great. Thank you, Nicole. Sorry, everyone, that's all we have time for today. So I want to thank Nicole very much, and Tencent, of course, for their contribution and sharing all of their insights here today. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us after the session, and we'll be distributing some of the material that we've shown here today. So yeah, wishing you all a very good rest of your Thursday. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.